Welcome to Boba. That is the name which I have given to this project of mine. I wanted something that sounded non-threatening, and the first thing that came to mind was Boba. So that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it Boba. I want to take you on a quick tour of this, and it should be pretty quick because there's really not that much built, but I do think there is enough to give like an introduction to what it is I'm building. My track record with finishing Minecraft projects is very poor. The majority of my saves folder is made up of a bunch of files titled City Project 1 or Modern House 8, but this one feels different. I think I built enough now to where I'm kind of past the point of like, it's not really worth continuing because I've only got one building now. It's like, I've got a bunch of buildings, so let's just build a bunch more. This is actually the first place, this is the first strip that I built. You could see I took a screenshot. It was relatively early on, so you can kind of see how they used to look. As you can see, they have had a refresh because after I built these, I like completely switched styles. We've got like coffee shops, restaurants, little boutique stores on the right here, all different styles, most of which are just like this. They're completely empty, not even floors. Some of these don't even have like completed back walls. This last one here is going to be a restaurant where you can, hang out at a table on the water, right next to the water, whatever. Oh yeah, and that's a whole other part of the city that I might be building as well, but I'm not focusing on that, so just ignore that. Aside from the buildings, this is probably one of my favorite parts about this city. It makes it feel really unique. It's just a little park area. I feel like it just adds depth, and if you're looking at it as kind of a more realistic Minecraft build, this is an area where you could just hang out. It just breaks up the city from the whole block after block of shops and whatever. It gives people a place to hang out. They get coffee at one of these places, and it's lined with these little lantern poles. I don't know if I'm going to keep this design or not, but they do look cool, especially with shaders. Most of these aren't labeled, but this one is one of the few that I have labeled. I figured this is going to be a coffee shop. Maybe I'll change it. Maybe I won't. I'm not sure. I figured it either looks like an ice cream shop or a little coffee shop. We're back up to this intersection, and we will start by going down here. This little path here, you can see that there are 2 staircases leading down there. So there's actually 3 entrances from this road down to the little park area, which is nice. There's nothing really that interesting here yet. Most of these buildings are just, I have the facades done, but the interiors are just not even in existence at the moment. Kind of like over there with the trees lining up. This time on the right side, you've got patches of flowers just to make it feel a little nicer, a little more welcoming. And you get to this building, which currently is the tallest building, and it looks kind of out of place, but my theory is it won't look as out of place when I add more buildings like this. This is supposed to be one of the residential buildings in this city. In this case, it's kind of a unique one where each floor is, one residence. This is somebody's house or apartment per se. They have the entire floor to themselves, and obviously the layout and the walls and everything are not there. I just have the posts, and each of these floors is currently the exact same, courtesy of the Minecraft/clone command that helped me quite a bit. We move on to this massive wooden, it's not really a pier, but it's a deck, I guess you can call it. It is technically over the water. My plan here is to make one of those outside markets where you like walk in a straight line and it just takes you from shop to shop to shop. If you've ever been to Charleston, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure there are so many others. That's just the one that came to mind when I was envisioning this. I also kind of envision maybe a small live venue, maybe like a small stage where they put on productions right by the water. Chairs, tables, monuments, sculptures, fountains. I just threw out a bunch of different ideas that I can foresee filling this space. So down here looks kind of bare, but this side looks nice. I'll grab a little lantern here. The only thing I have so far is just this random path to a pond. That's it. That's all there is here. I just figured I would add something. You walk up this way and you make it back to the street here. I tried to be different with every single building because it's easy to be really repetitive and monotonous, if that word works in this scenario, just by doing little things like adding slightly different types of sandstone, smooth sandstone versus just regular sandstone, and then quartz blocks which line the windows and the roof, and just to make it look interesting to look at. I mean, you could see the difference if it's just a side like this and it looks very boring. Same thing with this one. I decided to add shutters to this one. It just felt like it needed it. I did the same thing with that one over there, which I really like. This one is so cute. Pink shutters. I don't know. It just kind of stands out, but it looks very unique. It doesn't look too out of place in this city, especially with the cherry trees and the little pink shops over there. I do try to take inspiration from places that I know. So, for instance, down here, this is going to be a little coffee shop. This is based off of it's empty right now, just dirt, but it's based off of a place that I've been to, and I think it's really cool, and I think it just adds depth to the city. It just adds something other than just grid streets. And as you walk down here, you can see kind of where I have stopped. I decided to make this road that leads into the other sections of the city just at a slight angle. I'm probably going to build some buildings here that are also going to be at a slant. It's not easy to do that in Minecraft, but I figured this is an easy enough slant to build a building in. It should be okay. I've done it before. I do feel it's worth it to make the city a little bit more realistic. Like it said on the sign over there, I have a vague idea of putting a waterfall here and just having, the top of the hill being just like a nice place to hang out. Just another place to hang out, kind of like down there, except this time you've got a waterfall. There's still quite a bit of terraforming I have to do to make it look like a little bit more realistic, because Minecraft terrain generation is kind of weird. Like, what is this? Why is this generating here? I don't want this. This serves no purpose. I do like this little section of random pieces of terrain in the middle of the river. That's kind of unique. Maybe it could have like a lighthouse there that just serves no purpose other than to look cool. But yeah, my plan is to either make the waterfall here and extend this area into this river, or make it here, just off of one of these cliffs in this general vicinity. This is the bridge to North Hills, which I'm envisioning kind of like a Hollywood Hills-esque. A lot of really nice modern houses. I don't know. That's just what's in mind. So I kind of terraformed a little road into this terrain. That is the city. That is currently Boba in its entirety. If you have any suggestions about different things you want me to build. Oh yeah, and I think I said I was going to mention this. This is, before I knew what I was even building over here, I started building on this little mountain over here. This is going to be Port Elizabeth, or at one point in time it was going to be Port Elizabeth. It was just going to be more of like a colonial area. I'm envisioning like kind of a fancier private school or something, like campus. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully I will put out another video pretty soon that covers some of the new updates to Boba that I'm intending on making. Goodbye.